lot of notes on how I feel about said book. Okay. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing Insurgent, the movie. I didn't go into it with super high expectations. The trailers were just very bizarre. Did they change the entire plot line of this book? When am I going to be seen in the theater? I don't even know. So I went into the movie with not entirely high expectations, the same way I went into Divergent. I wasn't expecting a whole lot from it, but I was hoping that they were going to come through for me the way they came through for me in Divergent. Well, I finished the movie, and I walked out of the movie, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. It wasn't bad. I didn't hate it. I was annoyed by the storyline because I felt like it was so different from the book. Watching it was like, I don't think any of this was in the book. No. I still don't know how I feel about it. I didn't really feel like I was in the Divergent world. All that work and all that storyline that they built in Divergent, I just kind of, where did it all go? Didn't feel like people were making a stand, were like trying to appeal a revolution. I didn't really feel anything, to be. I don't think this movie did a very good job at portraying like emotion. I felt like they took a lot of liberties with the plot. So they went to like Insurgent Subway. No, you needed the lettuce, the tomatoes, the cheese, the onions, the pickles, the black peppers, the green peppers. You can't just take them out because you don't like them. You need the whole thing. You can't just be picky and choosy. It's not Subway. It's a pre-ordered sandwich. You get what you get. Does that make sense? I'm going to talk a little bit more about the film. So if you don't want to hear my thoughts and you don't want to be spoiled for the film, then you should probably leave. Unless you don't plan to see it, then I guess you can stick around. Ready? I think we got this. I have to say, I really liked the beginning. I didn't like the weird techie crap they threw in the movie. I liked the initial scene in Amity. I liked the fight scene. I liked the action. I liked the Dauntless charging into Amity and taking things over and chasing them off. Really, ironically, liked Peter. What am I saying? I thought he was sarcastic. I thought he was a great outlet for humor in this film. And he just had any scene that Miles Teller was in, I was like, I wish I was that funny. Like, he just had such great lines, and they were really comedic, and they were delivered at the perfect moment. Tris and Four. Well, I don't want to do any more of this peace and love and rainbows crap. Peter saunters in. Move it. Excuse me. Thank you. Get my way. Get my way. May peace be with you. May happiness live inside you. I don't know what was happening to my brain during this movie, but I liked Caleb. I loved the way that Ansel played him. He was just so comedic. Like, I had to laugh at the things he did. He was one of the highlights of the movie. The part where you know, they meet for For's pirate mom. You know, everyone storms off and they, you know, throw their temper tantrums, and Caleb's just like, this is a lovely platter of food you have prepared. Why, thank you so much. Well, Caleb's not funny. It just felt like a lot of the film was just kind of disjointed. It was just like scene, scene, scene. The flow and like the movement that Divergent had, and momentum that movie created was not carried into this movie, like, at all. The train scene, 4 jumps. You were like this close to being a hood ornament for that train. Most connected I felt to Divergent. The adrenaline pumping, and I just felt like this the whole scene. Then they get on the train and they're surrounded by the factionalists, and you're just like, Dauntless, Dauntless. I don't know what you are. They're wearing Amity clothing. How can you tell by looking at them that they're Dauntless and that he's not? Just like you can't point to someone and say, I know what faction you are. You can't scan your face and tell what faction you're in. What was that? It was like some robot from Transformers. How can scanning your face determine your personality and what faction you would be in? Like, what? What? The Transformer robot we'll address later. Then they get into the whole fighting sequence, and you know, they're punching each other, and it was super intense, and I was like, yeah, we got another action scene. Caleb goes and hides. Oh, that brings me to one of the biggest things that drove me nuts in this movie. My mind could not wrap around that trio. Tris and Caleb and Four. The factionalist guy has Tris's head hanging outside the train, and Caleb's just standing there like, be helpful, dude. Prelude to the end of Allegiant, where Caleb is equally as unhelpful. But back to the trio. Tris, Four, Caleb. Okay. Hazel, Gus, 4. Wait a minute, you should be saving her. You love her. Wait, nope, wrong movie. They have such good chemistry. Brother-sister thing was just so not working for them in this movie. Not buying it. After they're done beating the crap out of each other, I need to play the name card. I'm Tobias Eaton. We've been looking for you. You've been looking for him. I didn't like that. He knew that his mom was alive. He doesn't know she's alive. You walk into the factionless compound. Holy crap, you are way too young to be his mother. You're his sister and you look like Blackbeard's wife. Are we in Pirates of the Caribbean? Expected her to sail out on a ship with a monkey on her shoulder and black sails flying. Was that their way of making her look older? Like, I thought once I finally sat down and watched the film, I would get over that. But no, I didn't believe it. And that woman was ever his mom, or ever married to Marcus, or ever in abnegation. Who designed that? I just thought it was so ironic that my 2 favorite characters in the movie were my least favorite characters in the book. I loved them in the film. They were the best part of the movie. Like, I just really liked them. What can I say? I don't know. So you have the set of the Black Pearl with the factionless. The Amity, they could have been from the Maze Runner. The Erudite with all of their, like, freaky, weird, futuristic technology. In the book, they don't have any of that. They have their serums. Felt like it was really cheesy technology, and I just didn't think it fit whatever those erudite people were creating that Janine was scanning people's faces with. That they look like a little robot dude from Transformers slithers into Shia LaBeouf's nose. We're using alien technology. Duh. It could scan your face and tell what faction you were in. It's a choice. It's not like encoded in your DNA or anything. Coded for a specific faction, they wouldn't have a test or a choosing ceremony. They would just scan your face and say, okay, there you go, you're over there. Go sit with your leather-clad brethren. You can be a certain percentage of divergent. What was that crap? You're either divergent or you're not. In the book, to test if you're divergent or not, undergo like blood tests. Here, they just scan your face with alien technology and could tell where you came from. No, you needed the 100% divergent. Unlock the box. There were a lot of simulations, a lot of dream scenes that used to like explain things further. I felt like it was very distracting. Wait a minute, are we in a dream? Are we in a sim? What's going on? I don't know. Are you in a sim? Like when Trish was attacking Peter in Amity. Reactions from everyone else was happening. The reactions continued. The sim didn't end. Oh, okay, so we're not in the sim anymore? Now this is real life? Guiding me a little bit better through the story. Trish had this like PTSD and was just completely absent. They just took out all like the emotional stuff. Scene when they're in Candor, they're using the truth serum. Another emotional scene that I just didn't feel played well. Like I didn't believe them. Like I needed to. I'm not saying that Shailene acted it out poorly. I didn't buy that she was struggling. But they were sitting in that weird globe thing that I felt like should have like spun and turned them into like Doc Ock from Spider-Man. Anybody else think that? That scene was emotionally forced. Uriah was completely cut out of the first book and he was in 30 seconds and then he gets shot and I was like, okay, well that was fast. Dauntless is storming Candor, shooting up everybody in sight. Oh, they really don't care about casualties. They're just mowing them down. And then they're just train darts. I didn't feel like Trish and Christina had a proper... Anger wasn't properly displayed. That's a huge turning point in their relationship. And then the whole suicide thing, I didn't realize that was Christina. Way to go on good cinematography. One person just jumped. It was like, there's at least 100 people and nobody is going to catch her. Thor's going to be a hero. He's going to catch her. Nope, he's not. I am sure that there were plenty of capable people in that crowd who could have broken that poor girl's fall and saved her life. And Thor just watched her go, really? Really? The pirate brigade. She didn't seem like she could ever have been selfless abnegation mother. Wife of a council leader. The sets were so different. You have different sets to represent different parts of a world. I didn't believe that they could have coexisted in one city together and in the same time frame, same time period, same anything. I think that really contributed to being a disjointed film. And then the box thing. What was that? I didn't understand the origin of the box, the purpose of the box. It went from being just a microchip with information on it to being this box that looked like it belonged from Lost. The box that belonged to TV show Lost. I felt lost. And Joel's come out of the ceiling. Anybody else think they looked like the wipers from the car wash? You know what I mean? How when they found this lost box, were there directions that came with it that said, you must create a contraption that looks like a car washing apparatus, hook it into your Divergent, and lift them into the air in order to unlock me. Like a wireless link? Is there some kind of Bluetooth connection? How did the box know when the Divergent passed these simulations, and how did they know to design these simulations that would correlate to opening the box? So not all described. I was just thinking, then not only do they just poke you with these tiny little needle pinpricks, then they have the ability to levitate you. Sure, we'll go with that. You had to pass each faction simulation in order to open the box. That was cool. It wasn't explained why you had to do that, but it was a cool idea. These simulations for each faction were not equal. She fought this floating box for 5 minutes. All she had to do for abnegation was let Peter live. 2 seconds to make that decision. Simulations didn't appropriately reflect the factions. I didn't get how 4 turning into Lord Voldemort had anything to do with erudite. Thanks for explaining that one. The fact that Triss was 100% Divergent. How could Triss pass all 5 faction simulations when she didn't even test positive for all 5 factions? She never had any personality traits that would put her in amity or candor. She's 3 of the 5 factions. She wasn't all 5, so the fact that she's 100% Divergent is a lie. She's 60% Divergent. Did I do that math right? I think I did that right. They completely overlooked that entirely. And they cut out the whole action scene of Triss having to break into Janine's lab, face her worst fear, which was herself, and had to gone again that she hadn't been able to do the whole book. I don't know. Why? And how was defeating herself amity? And then she's just falling through the sky forever. I'm an Insurgent. I'm not on the RMS Titanic. I am not on a Lost Island in the Pacific. I'm not on the Black Pearl in the Pirates of the Caribbean. I am not in the Maze Runner, but I felt like I was. And then there was a scene that was so unlike Four and Triss. One of these dum-dums that are impersonating these incredibly rational people. When Triss wakes up from her trank dart thing, her and Four just stare so longingly into each other's eyes. It gets to the point where Peter has to say, we have time for that later. We gotta go. Book 4 and Book Triss would never have done that. They're always on guard and always in fight mode. And where they're trying to break into the lab, Four knocks out those guards and he's trying to have his eyeball scanned. Those 2 guards you knocked out probably have access to that room. No, this Triss and Four were idiots. Oh my god, that scene, Pirate Mom Sis is sitting on the bed, creepily staring at them. How uncomfortable. And then it turns out that it's a dream sequence, and I was like, wait, what? Just thought there were too many dream sequences, there were too many simulation sequences. It distracted from the reality of the show, used it to further explain things that they weren't going to touch on, but they didn't explain things well in the Sims anyway. Both of them was just too much. And then the ending. Evelyn kills Janine. Does that happen in the book? We barely know her. And then everybody's free. Release the tape to the entire community, not mentioning that it's Triss's grandma. That's big. They rush the gates. That does not happen. No. Evelyn locks the city down. Then Triss and Four form the Allegiant Band. And they have to sneak out in trucks to get out of the city. And everyone else has to stay, rush the gates. Like, what the hell was that? No. I knew that wasn't in the book. I really like Theo James as an actor, but I can't see him being the whiny, complainy Four that we see in Allegiant. You kind of want to punch him in the face. I don't think it's going to come across believable. I didn't hate the movie. I didn't hate it. But I didn't enjoy it. I'm very indifferent to it. It was so disjointed. It was so rushed. It was so different from the book. I'm really interested to see where Allegiant will go. I don't know how they're going to make that book into 2 movies because the first half of that book, the first 3/4 of that book, nothing happens. They could easily smush that down to 1 movie. What did you guys think of the movie? For those of you who have not read the book, Did it succeed well following Divergent? Let me know what you thought of this movie in the comments down below. Let me know if you agree with me on anything or what you thought of it, because I'm curious. My friend and I, she also read the book, we're kind of like, what are we watching right now? And I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with me so we can talk about Insurgent. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys really soon. Bye! The scenes the cat wants in. What else is new? Can you hear my mom talking about my cat? How she's a round little ball. She's fat, okay? I'm sorry, I don't know why. Rose DeWitt-Picator. Jack. Jack. Let you go, Jack. What? Huh? Let's discuss this book down below. Why do I always get so weird when I try to finish these videos? I'm gonna go eat dinner because I'm so freaking hungry and this is like an hour long. Oh, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to edit. My shirt is making my arms all like feel funny. I don't like it.